You're busy with common fractions, and in this particular video we are going to focus on dividing common fractions. So first we need to know what the concept reciprocal means. It is what you need to multiply a number by to get a product of 1. Another name for the reciprocal is the multiplicative inverse. So in other words, let's take a number, let's say 5. So it is what you need to multiply a number, a number is 5, by to get a product of 1. So we need to multiply this by something to get 1. Let's call that something x. So the product of our number, let's say 5, and a number, let's say x, must equal 1. So then this x we refer to as the reciprocal or the multiplicative inverse. So now let's solve this. If we simply want x, we have to divide the left by 5. What we do to the left, we have to do to the right. So therefore x, or our reciprocal or our multiplicative inverse, is 1/5. So if you take the original 5, you take its reciprocal of 1/5, you will get again 1. So we can therefore say that the reciprocal of 4 will be 1/4. The reciprocal of a third will be 3. So you just basically turn around the number to get the reciprocal. Because we know 4 over 1 is the same as 4. So now you just let the 1 go to the top and the 4 to the bottom. So we are going to use exercise 13.5 to illustrate some of these division concepts. So the one other thing that you need to know is the opposite of division is multiplication. We have to calculate these numbers for number 1 for exercise 13.5. Afterwards, check your answer using your calculator. I'm not going to focus that much on that. You can do that. So, number A, 5 divided by 1 over 2. Now we know when we looked at multiplication, we multiply tops, we multiply bottoms. When we see division in terms of fractions, it's easiest just to change the division to multiplication. So we say this is 5, not divide anymore, but multiplied. Because we changed the sign from division to multiplication, we will have to get the inverse or the reciprocal or the additive inverse. So what will happen is we pay a price. What was upstairs go downstairs, and what was downstairs goes upstairs. So we just swap around. So the 2 go to the top, the 1 goes to the bottom. We know 5 is the same as 5 over 1. And now we can apply our rule of multiplication, which says multiply tops, 5 times 2 is 10. Multiply bottoms, 1 times 1 is 1. 10 divided by 1 is nothing other than 10. Okay, so number B. I'm going to give you a bit of time to try this on your own. The one hint is, if we see a division, change to a multiplication. So this divide we have to change to a multiply. The other hint is, if you change something, if you change the sign from divide by multiply, you pay a price. So something has to change. So the price we pay is that which is at the bottom goes to the top. That which is at the top goes to the bottom. We know 3 is the same as 3 over 1. Now we're back to familiar territory. We can therefore multiply tops. 3 times 6 is 18. We can multiply bottoms. 1 times 5 is 5. Is this in simplest form? No. This is an improper fraction. The top or the numerator is bigger than the bottom or the denominator. So now we ask, how many times does 5 go into 18? Yes, 3 times. What is the remainder? 5 times 3 is 15. We're still short 3, so that goes on the top. That becomes the numerator. The denominator stay what it was, 5. So we end up with a mixed fraction, 3 and 3/5. We have the whole part and we have the fraction part. Okay, so number C, try number C. See if you can do number C. We divide, we know we can change the sign. But we will have to pay a price if we change the sign. Nothing in life is for free. So the 3 goes upstairs, the 2 goes downstairs. We know 22 is the same as 22 over 1. Now we can apply our multiplication rule. You can multiply tops, multiply bottoms, or before that you can try and cancel some things. So 2 is a factor of 22, so 2 can go into itself once. 2 can go into 22 11 times. Now we can multiply because this is a prime number. So 11 times 3, multiplying tops result into 33. Multiplying the bottoms result in 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Anything divided by 1 stays that anything, so that anything in this case is 33. So now number 2, what do I have to multiply 5 with to get 7? So in other words, this we can write as an equation. 5 times what gives 7? We don't know the what. Let's call it x. So 5 times x equals 7. But now we know multiply, we can just write the letter the number next to the letter, that's also multiplication. So the proper way to write this is as 5x equals 7. So now, how do we only want x. So we can divide by 5 so that the two 5's cancel. But what we do on the left, we do on the right. So now x equals 7 over 5. But this is an improper fraction as the numerator on the top is bigger than the denominator at the bottom. So we ask, how many times does the 5 go into 7? Once. What's the remainder? We still need 2 to get to 7. So 2 is the remainder that becomes the numerator. The 5 stays the denominator. So I need to multiply 5 by 1 and 2/5 to get 7. Number 3. How many times does 2/3 go into 4? Well, it looks hard. Let's make it easier. What if we ask, how many times does 2 go into 4? What would your answer be? You would say, sir, I know, that is 2. 2 goes 2 times into 4. How did you get to that? Well, you simply said 4 divided by 2 equals 2. So you took that 4, divided by this 2, and you got your solution. So our solution to this problem will be to say, okay, the 4 we still need as a 4. What did we do? We divided by this 2. But now we have to replace that 2 by 2/3. So 4 divided by 2/3 will give us our answer that we are looking for. So in fact, this problem actually just said, take 4 divided by 2/3 and what is your answer? So now we can use what we have learned in this lesson. We know the divide, we can change to multiply. So we are busy with the multiplicative inverse or the reciprocal, which means we have to swap around. That's the price we pay if we change the sign. So the 3 goes upstairs, the 2 goes downstairs. We can write 4 as 4 over 1. Now we can multiply tops, we can multiply bottoms, we can even cancel some factors. So 4 is the same as 2 times 2. So therefore 2, one of the 2's can cancel. So I could have replaced 4 by 2 by 2, replaced or cancel some 2's. Now we can multiply tops. 2 times 3 at the top is 6. 1 times 1 at the bottom is simply 1. 6 divided by 1 is simply 6. So your task would be to do number 1D of exercise 13.5.